3, 2,
There we go.
1. Trenton Davis.
Hey, what's up, Dustin Nickerson?
How are you, my friend?
Oh, I am good.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
From?
This is a perfect way to start this
Excellent.
podcast. I have my daughter every Tuesday and every other weekend.
Okay.
And so today is obviously Tuesday because
Right.
we're doing the stats. Pew, pew, pew.
You should have brought her, man. It's an all-age show.
Yeah. I can't have her out until one.
You're still trying to be a good father.
I'm trying my hardest. And so what that means is I have a day job. You know that. I still got my day job. I grab her at noon and we do nonstop whatever from noon until 6 p.m.
What'd you do today?
So today was a little different because today I had to do a lot of day job work.
Right.
So I went to this place called Love to Play that has has Wi-Fi, and I commandeered 2 tables.
Yeah, this is the ultimate parent hustle move.
It is, dude.
Yeah.
She had a ball because she has. It was no screen. It wasn't like I said, "Hey, sit here and watch my iPad for 4 hours."
Right.
No. We went in. We got food. We didn't get there till 2 because I was running around. We got in at 2. She found a friend by 2:03.
Is she social? Is she like that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. She's like, Daddy, I need a friend. I'm going to go make a friend. Hi, I'm Harlan. And so she ran.
Like, not that friend.
Yeah.
Not that one. You need to be a little more selective.
Well, it's cool now because at least for now, they're all boys.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all boys. And so she was there. And literally, like, the owner was super cool. He let me plug in. And he gave me the personal Wi-Fi to the business account.
You got the good Wi-Fi.
He's got the good Wi-Fi, the A+ Wi-Fi. And I knocked out work for a strong 2.5 hours. Understand, when I work from home, what I do in 2.5 hours is equivalent to somebody else's 8-hour day.
Sure. Yeah, you're just crazy productive.
You're just productive, right?
Yeah.
And so that was, how about you, man? How was your day?
Good. It was, what was today? Tuesday. I had a rare show last night. I don't usually do Mondays, but Madhouse had a show last night, so I got home a little later, and then I had to do radio for my show in Green Bay this weekend. So, I had to get up at 6 a.m. and like be on.
Oof.
And the radio guy's like, "Hey, you sound a little tired." I was like, "Bro, it's 6 a.m." you know how time zones work, and comedians operate on vampire hours.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then anytime you're going back to sleep, it's just not the same.
It's not the same. So can I do this? Since we're co-releasing this,
yes.
Can I at least acknowledge who Dustin is for the people that are on my podcast?
Sure.
That may not. Hey guys, this is Dustin Nickerson. We just talked about it right before we started the podcast. Definitely a San Diego staple. Number one, definitely a San Diego staple. Definitely a clean comedy staple. I wouldn't even just say San Diego. I'd say the country. Is that fair? I think that's a fair statement.
Take that. At least San Diego and Green Bay. Those are my 2.
No, Arizona, you're headlining now. Seattle, you're headlining now. And so why don't we say West?
Yeah. I
West and maybe Midwest.
I work.
Okay.
I work. Yeah.
So that's who Dustin is. Dustin, how many children do you have?
I have 3 children.
Dustin has 3 children. He and I are similar in that we're both comics. We're both dads. He is with his children's mother. He's with his wife. I am not, but we both try to be good dads. We're both spiritual. I would argue Dustin's more religious than I am. Maybe not.
I don't know. We haven't had that conversation.
We haven't had that. Hey, we're on a podcast.
Let's dive into it. Yeah.
And so that's the intro, unless there's something else you want me to say.
No, I think that covers it.
And I always do this at the top end because I don't know who's going to stop listening. Dustin, where can my fans find you on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff?
At Dustin Nickerson on all things. DustinNickerson.com. There is no other Dustin Nickerson of significance in this world.
Perfect.
That I know of. Though there is every once in a while, there is like a college wrestler named Dustin Nickerson, but he's a nobody for now. But if he gets in like WWE or something,
it's a wrap.
I'm screwed.
It's a race to who gets bet
he's
more
gonna buy my handle. Yeah. Is what he's gonna buy. I'm gonna get bought out.
Well, Dustin is definitely one of the funniest people, definitely one of the nicest people I've met in San Diego.
Thanks, man.
So what do we want to get into, man?
Yeah, I wanted to dive into, I think that a lot has been said of the Malcolm Gladwell, the 10,000 hours, you'll become an expert in anything, if you just dive into it.
Yeah.
That to me is severely handicapped
Yeah.
when you throw children into the mix. And even though I have more kids than you, I have. I hope this doesn't come across as I have kind of a more traditional, stable home, and then I have a wife who can watch the kids.
Yes.
I don't have days like what you said to me today, where like you're 100% in charge of the childcare on Tuesdays and every other weekend.
Right.
That affects what you can do. That affects bookings. That affects the work that you can and can't do.
Right.
And whether it's your day job or. So my situation is different, but they're uniquely challenging in their own ways.
100%. I would argue, and this is going to sound a bit pessimistic. Keep in mind, I'm out of a relationship just over a year, but we're still going through custody, so it still feels fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not joking. I said this the other day when I had my daughter for the whole weekend, and then I gave her to her mother on Sunday. I said, if two people can really get along, co-parenting is the shit. Because you get 3 or 4 days of break.
Right. Absolutely, yeah.
Imagine your wife getting 3 days every week of break.
Oh yeah.
Imagine how she
listens to this. We're getting a divorce because you're like selling a commercial to her right now. Imagine 3 to 4 days.
I'm not selling a divorce. You know what I'm selling? I'm selling you guys staying married, living separately. That's what I'm selling. Why do you have to get a divorce? Don't fuck it up. Your sex life will be better. I'm not telling you to get a divorce. I'm 100% saying move out. And I'm only half serious. Get a duplex.
Yeah, share a wall.
What was that movie? It was a movie. Oh no, it was Divorce, where they're like the kids can't come upstairs on my day or whatever downstairs.
I never saw it.
It was a show on HBO. Whatever. It's Sarah Jessica Parker after Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty good. But whatever. My point is, dude, I'll get 3 days or 4 days with Harlan, and I don't love it. Mm-hmm. But now those 3 or 4 days, I'm very focused. Like I don't take any shows. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if it's the weekend, I'm not doing my day job. A lot of times I'll either leave my phone at home or cut my phone off. So I'm focused because I know I don't get another 3 days for another week, like 10 days. Does that make sense? Because it's every other week.
You're 100% in.
I'm 100% in. But after those 3 days of 100% in, I am exhausted. Right? And so then I'll have Monday off, and then Tuesday I get her again. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, blah, blah, blah. So now I take bookings every other week. Mm-hmm. But those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe the beginning of Friday, because normally I'm comedy, it feels good. Mm. And I don't think it's any different than when married women say, honey, take the kids for a weekend. And then you come back and they're re-energized. Yeah. Right?
Refreshed, yeah.
Now imagine being refreshed like that every week or every other week.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna file. I think you've sold me.
I don't want to sell.
Here's what when you say it, I'm reminded of the folly of ever comparing circumstances. Because to your point, you have your goals, you have your objectives, you have your desires, you have your dreams.
Yeah.
And you will make them work in your circumstance.
Yeah.
And not one circumstance is necessarily better. And sometimes the more challenging circumstance actually makes you better because you have to be more creative. You have to work harder. You have to sacrifice more for yourself. You're getting less sleep. Sometimes when I talk to comics that don't have kids and I hear their life, sometimes I'll covet it. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much sleep did you get? You stayed outside, and you can take gigs all the time. You don't have to say no to anything.
Right.
You don't have to run this by any. You don't have any of these kind of concerns. And then at the same time, I'll look at mine and I go, I think that the challenges that I have, and I don't mean to refer to my wife and kids as challenges. They are challenges. The circumstances that I have make you kind of rise to the occasion. And make 100%. You fun. You know what I mean by that?
100%. Yeah. And I think as we both try to be good dads, we learn this whole thing, life, right? This whole thing is a learning process. And so I'll be honest, 2 years ago, when I was with my ex at the time, I wasn't good at balancing. Now, part of that was the relationship was bad and I didn't want to be at home anyway. Right. But now, because now I want to be with my daughter, I don't have to deal with the ball and chain of being with my ex. I can be with my daughter without being with my ex. So now I want to do that and I want to do it well. And so we learn how to balance. Like both of us, you and I both this year starting a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that part in My Cousin Vinny where it's like, let me see what else you can pile on. You got a day job, you got a wife, let me
Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah. Let me see what else I can possibly pile on, right? And so we learn. And when you watch Kevin Hart interviews or Louis C.K. or any of these guys that are great and they have kids and all that stuff, you see their day starts at like 4 a.m. Right. And and I think that's what it takes. I really do. I believe it takes this level of saying and being committed to saying, when I'm with my wife, it's wife time. When I'm with my kids, it's
Absolutely.
kid time.
Yeah.
Now, with the wife and kids, yeah, we'll make an exception. Somebody goes to the hospital. Of course, birthday, yes.
Absolutely.
But let's say the other 80% of the time, we're focused. And I'm not perfect there. I'm not there yet, but it's definitely getting me there. Being 40, when I look at somebody like Taylor Thompson, who's killing the game right now, I just say, well, I wasn't ready for that level of success at 22.
At 24, 23.
24, yeah, whatever.
She's a child star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, oh, dude, I would be drunk. I'd probably be dead.
You'd be Bieber in it.
I don't know I'd live.
Yeah.
I think I'd be on crack and or dead.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because of the crack.
Because of the crack. I'd probably
Or
weigh
something else.
20 pounds.
Because of the crack.
You'd be interviewing me like this. Oh, look at Trenton.
He doesn't look healthy, but he's very funny. He does very well. He's great. He's dying of the crack.
Yeah, of the 100%, man. I don't know that I would have made it. Yeah. I really don't. I don't know what I made.
It doesn't help in any way to compare.
No.
You have to look at your situation.
You have to.
And, I was talking to someone about that today that, for most of us, and I feel this more and more of my career, that it's less, and I think that this is true of whatever you're chasing, whatever dream you're chasing, whatever entrepreneurial goal that you have, you don't punch through a wall.
No.
And then you have your breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's Andy and Shawshank.
Yes.
It's chipping.
Oh, that's
Just
great.
chipping.
Oh, that's great, man.
Just 19 years.
Yes.
And then
that's it.
And then you got to crawl through 500 yards of crap.
Yes.
And then maybe
you get to Zewataneo.
Yeah, exactly.
Then maybe. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I talk about this dream all day long. And we have to, our dreams change. And I don't say you lose them, but they change as we get older. Like, right? And so now I truly, and I love what Kevin Hart is doing, but I don't know that I want what it requires to make 77 million. All right, a year. I don't know that I want that.
That's like an imaginary number to me,
right?
You could just said a kabillion jillion. How much I want to make a kabillion jillion a year. That's how much 77 million
that's what it is.
Yeah, and it can run out. There's been plenty of people have ran out of that amount of money.
But now let me ask you this: be 100% honest. Living in Temecula, right? What can I truly not do and enjoy for $5 million a year?
Yeah. That's all you want, just a measly
$5. I know that sounds like
at $5 million, you could buy Temecula.
Yeah, right.
I think
I could be the mayor. But my point is, I can have whatever house I want for the most part.
Yeah.
My daughter's going to go to whatever private school or charter school. We're going to have really nice vacations.
And that's what you pull right now, right?
No.
It's $5 million?
Yeah, right. I'm at...
From laps in Tucson.
What is 1% of that? Is it 50,000? Maybe I'm a little over 1%.
That's the best comedy condo story. Have we told you that story?
Oh.
This is... So,
oh God.
Side note, let's just do this. The last time Trent and I worked together, we did it was in Tucson.
Yes.
And they had a former manager there, Gary Hoodie.
Yes.
Good dude.
Great dude.
Great dude.
Comedy staple in Arizona, Texas, El Paso.
Yeah. Passed away in the comedy condo.
Yes. This is and listen, let me say, he didn't pass away like 20 years ago in the comedy condo. He passed away like maybe 2 months.
Like November.
Yeah. Like 3 months ago. Like his shit was still in the condo.
And it still is. And when because I was there a couple months ago and I was like, these were his DVDs.
Yes. Yeah.
This was, he
He was there.
He watched Balls of Fury, the ping pong movie. Why is that there? Who bought that? It was like, I want the Christopher Walken ping pong movie.
Somebody like Zoltan would buy that out of a thrift. No, you would buy that out of a thrift shop and sell it the following day.
I did that weekend.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of stickers.
Yeah, I was bartering. But the great moment of that is, and God bless the staff there. They kept that condo.
Yes,
and they want the comics to stay there.
Yeah,
and Trenton, I wouldn't say you refused. You opted out.
Yeah, well,
and the conversation that Casey, the manager said was, Trent, it's not a problem. He wasn't dead there that long.
and if anybody ever hears this, the management staff at Laughs is one of the best management staffs.
Oh, I'll sing their praises.
I love them. I've recorded my album there, right?
Yeah, no, it's a great club.
But
and they're right. I know what they're saying.
Yes.
But it's just an amazing situation. That is there any other career in the world where you would even be put in that situation?
No.
Where there's a condo that's a shared space, and the manager also lives there.
Yeah.
I just like that he thought that the time was the issue.
Yeah.
Like as if he died and they ripped him out 20 seconds later, but like, it's fine.
It's fine, right.
But it's like it has to be an hour before it's haunted. That's when the spirit releases after an hour.
That's the standard operating procedures on haunting a house. Dude, it was weird. I stayed there. I didn't stay there the first night, and I stayed there the second night, and it was weird. I just went back. I was just there. It all runs together. I want to maybe Cinco de No, it's because Cinco de Mayo is this week. I don't know when. No, I don't know when. Doesn't matter.
I don't know what I did last week.
Yeah, but I was there, and it was great.
Yeah,
I was
it's
there.
wonderful.
And this is the thing, too.
Yeah, I stayed there last time,
what
too.
What Dustin's not telling you is Dustin wasn't staying there. He brought his family.
Yeah.
And so if you were there, if I had another comic to talk to and like we
I
drink
won't stay at any comedy condo by myself.
You won't? Really?
No.
Why? It just feels weird.
It's
So what do you do if the feature doesn't stay there?
I'll find I'll stay in a cheap hotel, or that's I've done that, but usually the cheap hotel, or if I have a friend in that area, or like I'll do it one night, and then I'll sleep in the airport the night before I leave,
really,
like that, and just it's not for me. I'm not sleeping anyways if I'm there. I'm just sitting up, just like, is it going to be a murder? Is it going to be a
comedy condo
possession? Is it going to be a haunting? What's it going to be?
For people that don't know, comedy condos are typically the worst place. It's hard for me to put it because I don't want to throw comics under the bus. But listen, the comic that's in a comedy condo has not made it. Okay? So that means he or she's probably making less than $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
So and
no shit, we're talking about ourselves.
We're talking about ourselves. Yeah. I'm not shitting on.
I've got 3 condos on the books in the next 6 months. When those I
condos,
got a Reno condo.
Please don't tell me it's Reno Tahoe.
It's Reno Tahoe. I got a Nashville condo, which apparently Zany's is supposed to be a nice one.
Yeah, Zany's is good,
but it's
Well, let me say this to you. Reno Tahoe.
Yeah.
Is not a condo. It's the guy's second
his house. Bedroom. Yeah. I know him.
Have you done it before?
Yeah.
Okay. It is. Look,
it's his house.
It is the worst comedy condo story I've ever had in my life.
It's a new one though. He moved.
Oh,
it's nicer.
Is it?
Yes.
It was the one by the lake where you sit.
It's not nice.
It's just nicer.
It's nicer. It was. The first time I stayed there, and my man, if you're listening to this too, Wayne.
Oh, he's not. He's the weirdest person I've ever met, and he doesn't wake up until 1 a.m. and then he calls you.
And Wayne, that was the same thing. Oh, we'll put you up in the condo, and then I got there, and he came home, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And it was real dirty. There was a lot of dog. The dog kept coming in on my bed, like in the middle of the night.
It was the net. When I went into the condo, I'm going to tell 2 parts of the story because I don't care if I ever work there again. I've made a decision that I don't.
It was the condo, huh? Was that the tipping point?
Well, that and a little bit of him, but he said it was a condo. I get there and it was so dirty. I immediately left and went to Walmart and bought cleaning supplies and cleaned it, and didn't do a dent. No matter how much I worked on it, I couldn't do a dent. Then he comes in.
Painted.
I've tried everything.
Yeah.
He comes in and says, my cleaning lady has been sick. I said, she must be dead. She's not sick. You call that bitch.
My cleaning lady.
She is dead. But it was so bad. I'm not making this up. So for the people that don't know, Reno from Temecula is every bit of 11, 12-hour drive.
Oh, yeah, it's a haul.
It was so bad. I finished the Saturday show at 11 p.m.
Drove home.
I was on the road to get home by 12 p.m. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've done it.
All right?
Same thing. You're
It
just
wasn't
like,
worth
it's
it.
not worth it.
You know where I slept that night? I got about 9 hours, got to a truck stop outside of Barstow and chose that over that fucking condo.
Believe in your dreams, people. This is
your dreams. This is it, baby.
Now, let me ask you this. This is because I think this is an easy segue. When you're doing that, is your mindset, oh my gosh, this is awful, this is terrible, what am I doing? Or are you able to romanticize it a little bit of saying this is the 10,000 hours, this is the grind, or maybe both?
3 things.
Okay.
And so both and one. One, I acknowledge it. I said it's just shitty because I think we have to learn to say no. One of the hardest things for a feature comic to do is say no. But my manager said, Trenton, you know when you'll become a headliner? When you say no to feature dates. He said, if they can get you for 300, they're going to keep getting you for 3.
Right. Because there's so many, the features are more of at a premium.
Way more. Right? And so it's hard. It's hard to say no. It's hard for us to say no. We've been, for at least 9 years, we've been scratching and clawing to say yes. That we've never got more yeses than we do bookings, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We never, right? And so, but eventually you just have to say no. So that taught me to say no. B, yes, I romanticize it and say one day I'll be on Joe Rogan's podcast and I'll tell this story and it'll be great.
Now you're on my podcast.
Now I'm on Dustin. I'm moving up though. And so I romanticize it, and then I don't know what the third. We said both. Oh, and then I kind of mixed the first two.
Yeah.
It teaches me something.
Yeah.
It teaches me something.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what I do. Is I've especially my first 3 or 4 years, I slept in so many airports.
Yeah,
and it's awful. And then, but even as you'll tell someone about it, and you'll see kind of their admiration and respect for it.
Yeah.
And you'll go, no, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of that goes into as well, the family thing of like,
yes.
especially when you have a family, I mean, you are trying to maximize your net dollar on the road.
Yes.
You're rolling into town and I go to Subway and I buy 2 roasted chicken breast footlongs, and that's my next 4 meals.
Yeah,
for $12.
Yes,
because I have to maximize the net dollar
that you're bringing on. Dude, is it me? No, I know it's not me. All of us, we've gotten used to if the club feeds you. We have switched it to now. I can go off 1 meal a day. Mm-hmm. Right, and the club gives me so rather than wake up at 9, I'll wake up at 1. I can eat
because it's closer to dinner time.
It's closer to dinner time. I can eat at 2:33. By the time 8:30, 9 o'clock comes, I can have that second meal. So I've only paid for 1 meal.
If the club feeds you, I will roll into that town. I will buy a thing of oatmeal, and a thing of frozen blueberries, and that's all my breakfast. And then the club and so I've got all my meals, for $4.
And that's our life.
And I'm still losing money if I'm featured.
Yeah, we are. But you know what I say? I do, and I really believe this. At least for me, having a child, I'm glad, quote unquote, whatever that means, I haven't made it before she's old enough to acknowledge what making it means. Because I want her to see, not that she's ever with me on the road, I want her to see the difference.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I want her to see the difference. I want her also to realize that chasing your dream doesn't stop at graduating college. We never talk about this, and I need to make this into a joke, and I promise I'm not on this.
No, work it out. I don't care.
We need more people that are motivating 20 to 60-year-olds than we do people that are motivating high school students. How many motivational speakers do we have, and they're always going to high schools?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty much just Gary Vee. He's the only one out there doing it.
Right. We need people talking to, and I really say 20, but I would say 30 to 60. Right? 30 to 60, and this is sad, 30 to 60 is the time that more people quit on their dreams. They quit on themselves, and nobody does it out loud, but it's little small things. It's, you know what? I'm just going to go from doing, I know a guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was in a band, and he was like, I have my daughter. I can't do it as much, man. I'll do it a little bit when I can. And then I asked him about it. Man, I hadn't done it in a while. you're slowly quitting.
Yeah. And it's interesting when I talk to people about that a lot too. They'll use that excuse like, I got the kid and I got the job, and I'm just looking at them like, all right, well, I guess you just don't want it that much.
Yeah.
You can say you want it,
Yes,
but there's no getting around that. It's a pay your dues industry. It's a put in the hours industry. Even the people that fast track, I mean, they still grind somewhat.
Nope.
There's no complete shortcut. And if they do, then they lack in some way.
Look, if you read the book Comedians, it said you either do it on the front end or you do it on the back end.
Yeah.
But either way, you're going to do it, right? And we've both seen those people. I won't say a name. We've seen those people that they were already famous. Charlie Sheen, John Lovitz, blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, I'm going to go into comedy. Jeremy Piven is the new one. I'm going to go into comedy. All right. You still got to do this 15 years.
Yeah.
You try to do it on the front end or do it on the back. I'd rather do it on the front end.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows me.
Oh, yeah. That's part of the reason I was glad Blake Griffin got traded, because those were just factory spots he was taking.
Yeah. and I never saw it. Was it bad?
I know. He was fine.
Yeah.
But he's famous.
Yeah.
It's a different animal.
It's a different animal. People know.
Like, I would go sit and I was like, that's Blake Griffin. I'm going to watch that. And I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And I'd be into that.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that every career is like that. I mean, you mentioned Taylor Tomlinson. I mean, Taylor Tomlinson and I are really close friends.
Yeah.
Because we really, truly came up together in like every sense of the word. We've done every type of gig together. We've opened for big names. We've done open mics together. We've done everything together.
Right.
And I talked to her a lot about that, of just saying, the first 10 years of your career, and she agrees, the first 10 years of your career are going to be easier than mine.
Right.
The last 20 years of mine
will be easier. That's so true. That's so true. That's so true.
Now she has all the talent and work ethic, and that it's not. But I mean, if you can get to a point early,
yes,
like you said, it's not just like it's okay. I made it.
Right.
There's no, I made it. Now I'm set. There's no winning the lottery.
Dude, I've had this conversation with people, and I really believe this. Chris Rock has not been the number one comic in the U.S. any 1 year in the last 20 years.
Really?
But he's been in the top 10 or 20 every year in the last 20.
Yeah.
Right? I would argue you give me top 20 for 20 years, 30 years. I want that kind of longevity, right?
Right.
Well, I'm the top guy, because even Eddie Murphy was top. Now he's been done for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? Chris Tucker was the top. Now he's done for 15 years. Mm-hmm. Cat Williams, and I'm naming black comics, but same thing, right? Dane
I think it speaks to what your goals are. Because Chris Rock, to me, I don't know what his goal was when he started, being in stand-up comedy.
Right.
But whatever people's goals, people have different intents. Some people don't want to take acting. Some people want to just be great actors to be famous and be on TV and get money and those kind of things. And other people just want to be great actors. Look at Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman, anyone in the acting world would say he's the best we have.
Yeah.
Him and There Will Be Blood guy who wins every time he does a movie.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah. They win every time that he does a movie. They're like, all right, just give him the Oscar because he's so much better. And their goals are very different. They're more reclusive. You don't see them. They're not taking selfies on Instagram. So
speaking of that, what are your goals?
Well, I mean, to speak candidly, I mean, I want to be at the end of my career and Rolling Stone's doing list of who some of the best comedians are of all time. I want to be on that list. I want to be the best. Yeah. Not the best, but I want to be, because there's a certain level of subjectivity. Where we're favored. To me, Chris Rock is the best comedian of all time. Yeah, I think he exceeded his influences. I think his longevity. I think his material. It just exceeded what was before him and exceeded his peers. Yeah, and the level of kind of truth that he was dealing with. Yeah. And going at every topic and every gender and every race and just totally whatever, it's kind of the truest sense of authentic comedy of this is my thought. And he kind of paved the ways for guys like Bill Burr who did the same thing. Yeah. So there's a level of where you go, well, who's better, Bill Burr or Chris Rock or Jerry Seinfeld? Well, at that point, it's just your opinion. It's just opinion
at that point.
I want to be in the point where everyone goes, well, that's just your opinion. Yeah. But objectively, we can say he's one of the greatest of all time.
I love that. I'm going to say two things. All this time knowing you, I didn't realize that you and I both have the same favorite comedian. Because I thought I was the only one that thought Chris Rock was the best. And maybe it's because we're both dads.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Maybe it's because we're both dads, even though I'm not in a relationship.
The big piece of chicken really resonates. And,
right?
That's all it gets is the big piece of chicken.
My parents been married 49 years, and I came from that space. Everything, and watching Chris Rock, to me, I watched him mature and change and develop, and his comedy matured and changed. It was almost the Jay-Z of comedy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Jay-Z's now talking about painting. He's rapping about paintings and net wealth. This is the dude that was talking about big pins. He's talking about paintings and net, and that's what Chris Rock has done. Now he's even the thing he did about divorce was so great.
Oh my God.
It's so good. I didn't go through a divorce. I went through a breakup. I don't even want to talk about my breakup stuff. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
He covered it.
He covered it so well.
That's to me like the same thing when like I've been wanting to do a bit on gun control.
Yeah.
But then I'll go back and watch Jim Jeffries 20 minutes on it. I think he covered it.
What do you do?
I think it's done.
I agree.
I think he just milked it. That's a dry utter.
It's like a Trump joke at this point. The only other thing we could do is truly offer another a perspective and an opinion and say, look, I don't want this to sound like blah, 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 but it's just my opinion.
Right.
Because I do think we still get to have an opinion.
Sure,
if not, we'll run out of topics.
I'm just saying he perfectly almost articulated my opinion.
Yeah.
And did it in a funnier way than I can. I was like, all right, well, time to move on.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think that the reason that I resonated with Chris Rock is because I grew up in a really diverse neighborhood, mostly white, black, and Mexican, and Chris Rock, by the time I was in junior and high school, was the only comedian that would bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Black, white, mix, everybody would laugh.
Yep.
And, I understand that some people, it's not for him because it's not clean or raunchy or whatever it may be. Like, but it would make, kids who live in the same neighborhood but have completely different home lives and have completely different, upbringings, even though we're in the same proximity, and we would all laugh. And, Seinfeld didn't cross that line that other people did. And that to me was what made him just kind of that greatest. This voice crosses all lines.
I would agree.
Who doesn't like Chris Rock?
I would agree. I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah. And he's another guy who, people forget that, he was like 19 when Born Suspect came out.
Which one was it?
That was his first album. I think it was his first album. He was young. He recorded it in a club in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was the Mayor's on Crack bit.
Oh,
Mayor's on crack. And it was the first time that crack became the thing that he said. Mayor. And Bring the Pain was probably 10 years later.
Yeah.
And
that's what I love about him is he waits. His last album before this Netflix, if you remember, was right before Obama was elected. That's all, because remember he had the joke about we ain't ready for a black president.
He's not rushing the every year, the every 2 year.
No.
Yeah.
And to answer that question about what do we want for a career, I think I'm going to be very specific. I want to have a high quality of life without giving up my privacy. So there's a medium, right? I don't want to be.
Not Kevin Hart.
No, it's not. It's not Will Smith. It's more like Don Cheadle pre-Iron Man. Pre-Iron Man, Don Cheadle could be here.
Yeah.
He could be right here. We wouldn't even notice, right?
That guy's kind of old to be in the crowd. He's a younger crowd. What's that old guy doing here?
Right.
Don Cheadle's looked the same age for 25 years.
25 years. He's like Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah. Same idea.
Same thing. People don't know him.
Yeah.
People have no clue who he is. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. I want to be able to make. It's not even a dumb amount in comedy. I want to make
$1 billion.
No,
I want to own Temecula.
How much does? Because I know Joe Rogan is famous. I'm not saying he's not, but Joe Rogan still has a normal life.
Probably less so now than he used to.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Rogan, that podcast is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But my comedy,
because my non-comedy friends talk to me about Joe Rogan all the time, and a lot of time they don't even know he does stand-up.
No, that's fair. But my question is, how many people outside of when he's doing a UFC event? Outside of when he does a UFC event, is he somewhere and people are just bugging him?
Right.
I mean, he talks about it.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely not Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
He's not that level of, he's not Aziz.
Right.
Wherever he goes, he's getting bothered. But I think that, he is kind of at that level where I'm sure he gets recognized a lot.
I do, yeah.
But not constantly.
Not constantly. I guess I don't know what that number is, and I'm afraid to put it out there because then it sounds like I'm being an asshole.
Yeah.
But $50,000 a show?
That's it. That's all I want.
That's not a lot, considering Kevin is doing $1 million a show.
That's insane.
That's you pay what the
show.
market will bear.
Sometimes, if you ever had an amount, and this happens. Sometimes someone will pay you an amount. I think it happened more like early in the career when someone would offer you like $100, and you'd be like, "I'm not worth that." The idea of making $1 million a show over these dumb jokes that we do, and sometimes you got to go work out a new joke.
Yeah.
And get paid $1 million. I was like, I felt I did last night. I headlined Madhouse and I was doing 30, and it was like a $50 show or whatever, and. Which, whatever, $50 on a Monday, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
And I felt bad at a couple points when he handed the check, and I was like, worked out some new ideas because I was like, oh, no, this was a paid gig. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. If there were if I was getting paid $1 million,
this is how you have to look.
Take something from my stupid journal.
No. That's not. You're looking at it wrong, Dustin.
Like if I had a bit that missed for 2 minutes, I'd be like, I just got paid $150,000 for that new joke to bomb.
No. That's the generous Dustin way of looking at it, and that really explains his heart, people. Thank you, Dustin. That is not the truth. You know what you're paying for when they give you $1 million a show? Those 9,999 hours that you didn't get paid.
Yeah.
That's what they're paying for.
Because
sleeping in a fucking airport, eating oatmeals and blueberries.
It's not a bad meal. It's not bad. I'm not.
He's
I didn't
eating
mean
porridge.
I was gonna say, you made it sound like I was just getting porridge out of the trash. Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
The oatmeal, the airports. Yeah, that's a terrible sleep. I hear you on that.
And you and I laugh, but we talk about it, especially now with the YouTube and Instagram, blah blah blah. But literally, let's just do this simple math. We both go out and we work hard and we get 5 million followers, right? 5 million followers divided by 50. That's roughly, what is that? Not a million a city. I don't know what the number
tuned
is.
out as soon as you start doing math.
My point is, let's say you do, because at that point you're only doing 30 shows a year.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't seem like enough.
Right? Well, I'm sorry, not 30 shows a year, 30 cities a year, right? Let's do the math real quick. I just want to do this. I know this is boring, but we're going to do it. 30. So we're going to do 5 million followers, engaged followers, divided by 30 people. So that's 166,000. Now let's divide that by 2, and that way we're saying we're doing 60 shows. So 1 show Friday, 1 show Saturday.
Right.
So it's 83,000. 83,000, right? So what we want out of this 83,000 is 10% to come to a show. So let's just say 8,000, and 8,000 people paid $20 a ticket. That's 160 grand you got.
It's insane.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not asking for a lot.
Yeah.
We're asking for 8,000 people, which is not the civics. It's a small, it's not small, but it's, again, we're doing 1 show Friday, 4,000, another show Saturday, 4,000.
I think when I'm interested in the money. I'm more interested in the following.
Yes.
And what you're talking about, because what you've seen with, guys, what happened when you get the following, there's no more gatekeeper.
That's it. You're truly an entrepreneur.
Exactly. We're still in the stage right now, and I try and tell myself as I had a shift this year of, I would set up my objectives for the year, New Year's resolution. I want to get past at this club. I want to start doing this. I want to headline this many dates. I want to make this, and I would set that, and I would get frustrated that I wasn't reaching those goals.
Right.
But what I started to realize is I was setting up goals that had nothing to do with me because they're gatekeepers that I can't influence. So now my goals have changed. To be only the things that I can influence, meaning I want to, do this many sets.
Yeah.
I want to work on the act this much. I want to write this much a day.
Yeah.
I want to increase. I want to do this many posts. I want to build a mailing list. I want to start a podcast. These are things that are in my control.
Yes.
That's a shift,
It's 100% a shift. I've shifted from being a what is it? Independent contractor, which is really what we are. We're going to bring you in to do comedy.
100%.
So I want to be the owner, right? And in my head, it went from saying, I used to say this, I want to be able to do any club in America. Now it's shifted to, I don't want to do any club in America. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any club in America. If Kevin Hart does a club date, guess what? He lost money.
That's crazy.
If he does a club date, he lost money. Imagine if he did a club weekend, how much he loses.
Kevin Hart has reached that level of famous where he works out the new material in theaters.
In theater.
It comes down from stadiums.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. What are we at time frame? Are we good? Yeah.
Would you mind asking him to say we're recording and turn it down real quick? No, dude, I hear you. That has been, the gatekeepers eventually will then come to you.
Yes.
If you have, the following, because then they want, and the game has changed, in not in my career lifetime, but in my lifetime, it went from networks and clubs saying, we recognize something in you, we will make a career for you.
Yes.
As opposed to us now, if you have a following and whatever it may be,
they come you.
and they say, you help us.
Yes, 100%.
It's an interesting, let me ask you this, let me shift real quick.
Yeah.
All the talk, I love the shirt that you sell. It's never too late to pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
And you see it in the mirror. You talk about it on social media a lot. How do you talk to your daughter about it? How old is she?
Yeah, so my daughter's 5, so she doesn't get it yet.
Yeah.
She doesn't get it yet.
But she sees it. So there's got to be, Daddy, where are you going? She knows what you do for a living.
She knows what I do, and sometimes the things that I don't give her credit for because I think she's too young to get, she gets. So she now says, Daddy is famous. She now says, Daddy is on TV. And she really appreciates it. She really does. And so that's why, again, whatever level of success I get, she will have seen it grow. Yeah. And that's seriously at a core level, outside of food, water, shelter, protection. Other than that, the number one thing we can do as a parent is teach our children to never stop growing and reaching. I think, and this is not only a product of African-American families, I think it's a product of lower income families. And lower income families are just so focused on surviving that the idea of doing what you love is so far-fetched. Does that make sense? Yeah, if I don't have food, right? And I'm not going to make this a whole historical anthropology, but so what happened, what slavery did for so many people, slavery and then Jim Crow and then just being broke, is it stopped an entire group of people of learning how to dream. And that is institutional racism. That is generational, right? I love my parents to death.
It makes the dream language that much more symbolic.
It does. It does. And I think I have the best parents in the world, but my parents rarely sat me down and said, what do you love? Rarely sat me down and said, they sat me down, and God bless them, they did their best. They said, hey, go to college, and we're going to help you get to college and get a job and get married. And then after that, it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I did it at 24 and like, well, where's the rest of the map?
Yeah. They taught you, though, the other part that we're talking about, which is the sacrifice.
Yes.
And that's what I got from my single dad. I was raised by a single dad.
Okay.
And we never once talked about dreams, career. It was, you go to college. Yeah. No one in our family had. Yeah. My sister and I were the first 2 Nickersons to go to college.
Wow.
And I got better grades than her.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah.
But I still take that now because I saw the overtime that he works working for the airline union.
Yes.
So it's still there, but there was that other half that was lacking.
That's a great way to put it, because what I saw from my dad, what I got from dad is go to work every day. You're a man, go to work every day. And he did.
Yeah.
Every day. And he was up early. He was an early riser. So he'd be by 6:30, he was gone.
Yeah.
I got that from dad. What I got from mom was more artistic and loving, and is more loving. And not loving. It's just different kind of ways to show blah, blah, blah. But you're right. So it's ways that I can apply what they both have taught me, which is a ton.
Even if you're not thinking about it, it's just there.
Even if you're not. Yeah. You know what? My parents, Mr. Miyagi me.
You need to call your parents right now.
I do.
And say, I was just talking to this guy, Dustin.
They taught me paint the fence. Fuck them. They just Mr. Miyagi the shit out of me. They just waxed on, waxed off. I didn't even know it. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I see them this week. I'm in Greensboro. They're coming down. They're still super supportive.
Yeah.
At 70 or 71. Oh, dude, man. I do the Bahamas every year, and they've come down the last 2 years. We're just going to come.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. They're the best.
You know what you're on the hook now for, though, and I think about this as a parent.
Yeah.
Is I can't really be critical of my kids' career choices.
No.
I can't.
No.
I have to let them do whatever they want to do.
But then again,
because I'm up here telling jokes.
Telling dick jokes, by the way.
Well, not me.
Yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
not one of those comedians. These crash guys.
But
I mean, I have one vasectomy joke. But it's a good joke.
But isn't that freedom though?
It is, but it's
That's real
also,
freedom.
I'm like, they might live with me for a while. Because that's the reality. I can't, that's the shift. I think our set is like, I'll tell you to work hard.
Yeah.
But I also understand that there'll be sacrifice involved and you need to care for it. But my childhood was like raised, me and my sister worked at 16. As soon as you can get a job, you get a car, you're out of the house, you go to college,
Wow.
you never come back.
Really?
And it wasn't that he
Where's
didn't
your
love
dad
us.
live now?
And with us.
Yeah. Does he?
He does. He stays with us.
Wow. We switched this up.
I've never thought about that until right now. The man had hip surgery this week. I've been taking him back and forth from the hospital.
Okay.
Cleaning his wound.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And
God almighty. It's funny how things turn.
And he kicked me out at 18.
Did he? Oh, Dad.
Not really. I went to school.
How's the hip going? It's going to be time to get a job pretty soon.
Yeah, it's in there. It's that I can't budge that thing. I can't. Yeah, it's but that's the thing. Like if my kid says, I don't want to go to college. I don't know that that's for me. I want to be an artist. I want to be a musician. I want to be whatever it may be. I have to encourage it.
Yeah, well,
I can help put some rails around it.
I say this and I'm gonna suggest it over and over to my daughter, but not just at 18. I'm gonna do it the entire journey. Is figure out what you love, and sometimes that path is a whole bunch of traveling on daddy's dime, and go and volunteer. So I heard a saying, and I can't remember who said it. Say, I want to make enough where my kids don't have to work, but not so much that they don't work.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I hear that. And let's be honest, that's what we did at open mics. We were just volunteering.
That's it, 100%. Dude, come on. The first...
that's a better way to put it.
The first 6 years...
I'm not going to open mic tonight. I'm volunteering. I'm supporting the community.
That's it, 100%.
I can log some hours.
I remember getting an argument. I know we got to close. I remember getting an argument with a girl. And she said, why do you go to open mics and do free shows? And I said, because if I don't do free shows, I will have no paid gigs ever.
If I don't go to free shows, I have no shows.
Zero.
There's no shows. We still work for free.
Yeah.
Constantly.
They didn't get it.
Yeah.
But what you really, what you...
The only thing that I'll tell them not to do is don't be a comedian. That's the only one.
No.
Listen, I went this route, and unless you need this, don't do this.
Well, and that's the thing. Daughters, especially, whatever you tell them not to do, they do. Don't date a black guy. They do. Right?
I don't tell them that, man.
Please don't, because they will bring one home. I've seen it happen. I've been...
I love you make it say like that's a problem. Like that's my biggest fear.
No. I'm just saying I've been daughter's revenge for a lot of girls. All right? For a lot of girls. I'm like, well, I'm bringing you home strictly to piss dad
What's up,
off.
Mr. Anderson? Yeah. Did you really like hood it up too? Like you come in like a do-rag? You just kind of, or did you come in like, nicely?
Well, it was high school.
You're wearing an NWA shirt?
No, I was more like Urkel in high school.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I wasn't cool. I mean, I thought I was, but I wasn't cool.
That's hard to believe.
I wasn't.
There's no one better dressed in comedy than you.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Thank you.
I see your mug with your little hat on the side of the Laugh Factory on Sunset, wearing his little fedora.
Yeah, I've gotten into it now. I'm into and it's a part of your brand and all that now. So now it's known.
This is it.
Yeah, but you're going for the working man's white guy. There's not a working man's black comic. Who is it? Who's the working man's black comic?
I don't know.
MCL.
Who?
Mark Christopher Lawrence?
No, I mean famous. I mean Mark. No, that sounded bad. Mark is famous. Mark is way more done 1,000 times more than
the
work than
working
I've
man's.
done. I meant on a level of comedy.
Godfrey.
You think?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just saying black names at this point.
Yeah. Is that even a comic?
Yeah, Godfrey. You know Godfrey.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Godfrey's hilarious. By the way, if you hadn't seen his
that
special,
guy kills.
God Almighty, his special was so good.
Dude, those seller comics, those New York guys, there's just like a different level of chops.
I saw him do Sacramento and do 3 different shows, 3 different hours in the same weekend. I was, what Godfrey? What are you
insane?
What are you doing right now? You just trying to make us feel bad?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And all 3 were great. I was like,
okay, so your third best hour is better than my best hour.
Right. Ever.
Time to keep grinding.
10 years. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Like
you do have those guys. Well, you're going to write. I'm sure that you do.
I'm going to write every day. I need to write as much as I, but I'm not going to make excuses. I need to write.
Right.
Period.
That's it. I mean, I'll tell you this, though, and we can end on this. I do admire what you're doing. I think that I'm naturally more, I think to wear the 10,000 hours, I'm grinding out here on your sleeve and as publicly as you do, I think it's admirable, and I think that it's braver because I think the reasons that I don't is sometimes I don't want people to kind of see it.
Yeah.
I just kind of be like, this is for me. I don't, because to show yourself and to say you have this goal and you have this dream and you have this ambition is to make yourself vulnerable to a public failure. Like I don't like talking about auditions that I'm doing, or if I have a thing coming up we were talking about earlier. I don't like talking about that.
That's fair.
Because if I don't get it, I don't want people to know. Even though I can take the lesson and I can take the L, but I think the way you're doing it is the better way to do it. Because I think it's a better point of mind, and I think what you start to realize is you are now the Kevin Hart types that you're inspiring other people with your words. Maybe my actions as well. People see the grind, but I'm not out there preaching it in a way that actually inspires people. So I think what you're doing is the way to do it.
No, I appreciate you saying that. The only thing I would say is I seriously appreciate you saying that. You hit it on the head. My goal is, while I'm doing it, is to inspire people. Mm-hmm. It truly is, and it inspires me too, and it reminds me to do it. But so people, I have a day job, blah blah blah, and I've done well over 1,000 PowerPoint presentations in my life, and in none of them have I finished and somebody give me a hug and say thank you. I needed that.
Yeah.
But be honest, how often does that happen to us?
Yeah, pretty often. Yeah,
pretty often. At least once a month, somebody gives me, and it's a big bear hug, and it's somebody you don't expect. I was in Oklahoma, and I thought a white dude was gonna punch me, and it's big, like look, and he gave me a hug, and he said, "Man, I needed that." So my point is, I do it for me, but I do it for them. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I'd say, and just for as many of those you get someone coming up and just be like, man, can you validate my parking? Can you?
That's what happens when you wear red.
And that's the balance.
That's what happens when you wear red.
Dude, that was really fun. This happened last night in Mountain House. That was so funny. Where's the bathroom? And you're like, all right. Trenton, we got to go to a show.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, guys. Dustin, tell them where they can find you again.
DustinNickerson.com, at Dustin Nickerson.
Okay, I'm at Trenton Comedy on every single thing, at Trenton Comedy. I don't know when this is going to drop, but May 14th through the 28th, I'm at the Bahamas in Nassau. And then follow me at Trenton Comedy. I'll give you my schedule for June. Thanks for having me, Dustin.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
That was fun, man.